So I think the one thing I then need to do is pick my wizard feat, I would assume. Okay, do I want to be a hobbit or not? Because I need feet. Or I need to know what to put on my feet. That entire joke just tanked so badly. I am so sorry. Alright. Counterspell. I know that counterspell isn't great here because you need to know the spell yourself. I think this can be really good, but yeah, I'm not a fan of counterspell because you need to, especially because it's like a spell that you've prepared. If this was a spell in your spell book, I think I would 100% take this. I think if it was a spell in your spell book, I would 100% take this. Because then there's a lot of value to be gained from just filling up your spell book with spells. But you actually need to have it prepared. So I think this is very limited. When casting spells that require material components, you can provide these material components without a spell component pouch. Okay, so you don't need the materials. You get a familiar, which, yeah. This requires Universalist, which we didn't go for. And then Reach spell and Widen spell. To be fair, you know what I'm just thinking? Technically, Reach spell is not bad on this character. I'm going to explain you why. Ray of Frost and because that's, I think, the big advantage of these meta magic options, and the reason that they're weaker than the sorcerer ones in 5th edition is simply put because they just require you to give up an action. We already know that, like, Ray of Frosts, like Ray of Frosts, Produce Flame, stuff like that, that has a range of, 30 feet. Ray of Frost 120, so you're probably not using it for Ray of Frost necessarily, but this does allow you to get like a fire spell going over 60 feet rather than over just the 30 that it usually has. So it does put some value into that. So I think I might pick Reach spell. I know that it's weird that I'm not picking up a familiar because I do like familiars, but again, it's because I don't know the familiar rules that well. I think familiar is definitely also an option. I might even, honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, seeing as I'm now going with Conjuration, I think I'm gonna switch spell substitution because we're still at level 1. I can still make these changes. I think I'm just gonna take, yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick up Improved Familiar Attunement at that point, because it would be summoning. It would make sense to have a familiar at that point. So yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get ourselves a familiar. Fuck it. I don't know. I just flavor wise, it just, I like it more. I'm just gonna do my Arcane Thesis on familiars. That way I don't need to pick up the feat, and then we can get the value from Reach spell as my wizard feat, which lets me use my cantrips. I think the summoning spells also, I would assume, yeah, they have like a range of 30 feet, although they do require 3, so I can't really use it with my summoning spells. I can use it with Magic Missile though. Like, yeah. So I think Reach spell is good. I don't think Widen spell is as valuable. This might fuck up my spell selection a little bit, though. The fact I'm going for, like, summoning, but then again, like, what else would I pick? Widen barely does anything. It only really affects Burning Hands, which I don't know how many actions Burning Hands is off the top of my head. I would assume 2. Let me look that up. Burning Hands 2, so yeah, you'd be able to use it with Burning Hands, but that would be it. Whereas Reach Spell works with a bunch of my cantrips. So I don't think I'm picking this. I can't pick this because I'm not a universalist. I don't think this is necessarily necessary. I get this from my other feats, so I think it's going to be Reach Spell for first level then. Alright, nice. So that leaves one more thing, which or 2 more things, because now we've done our class stuff. So that leaves the last portions, which is we now need to determine our ability scores and fix up everything. So we get 4 more increments. Right. We don't need to put anything back into intelligence, which is kind of cool. Because this is maxed. So the way that I think I want to do this is I'm going to put 2 increments into dexterity. I'm going to put 1 increment into constitution. And I'm going to put 1 increment into wisdom. And the only thing that I'm kind of debating now is, do I want to put an increment from dexterity also into wisdom for perception and well, technically for will saves I get the +2 already, so it's not necessary for will saves per se. It would mostly be, yeah, it would mostly be for yeah, it would mostly be for perception. And initiative wise, I do have my stealth, but I'm not always going to be able to roll stealth. So what do I lose? If I drop my dexterity from my wisdom, I increase my perception, I increase my will save, I decrease my reflex save. The other thing is, do I want to increase my con? I mean, to be fair, yeah, no. I think I'm doing this. I think I'm dropping dex to 16, and I think I'm increasing wisdom to 14. Just for the perception. Just already for this. Will saves it doesn't matter as much for, but like, you know, hit points go back to 12. That's pretty important though. I don't have armor, so that's fun. Alright. So I think we have everything other than that. Now we just have equipment. Now, I think the only equipment that I would really buy as a wizard I would assume the only equipment I would buy would be the spellbook, because I don't have proficiency with any armors. You're untrained in all armor, trained in unarmored defense. So I would assume this would be it. I have no defense. Like none whatsoever. Oh god, I really need to stay behind with this character. I do want to check one thing. Like, what I'm mostly like thinking about is like, I'm mostly wondering, like, is there any kind of, like, I'm assuming I can't wear armor ever, but I'm mostly like wondering, like, what are the downsides of wearing armor that you can't wear? You know what I mean? Like, there's a very steep penalty to doing it in. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, cool. There's actually a class kit thingy. So, staff, adventurers pack, materials component pouch, writing set, and a crossbow with 20 bolts. You know what? We'll just do that then, because I'm assuming you're not buying anything in terms of like armor. Yeah. Okay. So we'll leave it at that then. Okay. Modifiers we already did. So I would pretty much just have a quarterstaff, which to be fair is never going to deal any damage because I have 10 strength. Plus, technically, I can use it's kind of the reason that I'm like preparing produce flame, because you can use that as a melee attack as well, which I think is going to be better. So yeah, I would assume you can still like use your stuff for that. Although I do think they get attacks of, well, no, attacks of opportunities or feats in this game, so they don't necessarily have it. All right, did I forget anything? Plus their proficiency bonus with their armor. Wait, do I need to add my... Because I'm untrained and no armor. So why does it say 13? Yeah, I have 16 AC because I'm trained and unarmored, right? So I'm assuming I have 16 AC. Okay, cool. So I think that's level 1. Holy shit. It's a lot of work to make a Pathfinder character. I like this. This is cool. I think this is okay. I'm also happy this kind of pre-fills itself, to be perfectly honest. And I would get 4 languages, I guess. Oh, the familiar one has to be here. Okay, good to know. And then my focus spell would be here. What was my focus spell called again? Sorry. What's it called? God damn it. Seriously. Nope. I passed it. Augment summoning. So augment summoning. Current 1, maximum 1. There you go. I don't have an... Yes, do I have innate spells? Yes, I do. No, wait. I picked Seer. Fuck, I have Detect Magic as base. Why am I picking Detect Magic? I just realized that. I picked Seer, right? God damn it. I fucked up. People have been screaming at me. Do I really want another cantrip? Let's just add Acid Splash at that point, I guess. Let's fucking add Acid Splash. Fucking hell. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother. Like, let's add Acid Splash. And then prep Acid Splash. There you go. All right. I think that's level 1.